Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 12th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to understand how we can insert data into tables in SQL. The insert query is used to insert data in a table, and using the insert query you can add data into a table one row at a time. And there are a couple of options that you have with your insert query. The first one is that you specify the columns in which data is to be stored, and the other option is that you do not specify the columns. And if you're doing this, that is, if you're not specifying the columns in which data is to be stored, then you have to make sure that the order in which you put in the values in the insert query is the same as the order in which you want the values to be stored in the table, right? And if this is seeming complicated, then don't worry, we're going to see the insert query in action in just a minute, and things will get clear to you guys then. And the syntax for the first type is you mention the keyword insert and then the keyword into, then the name of the table in which you want the data to be inserted, and then within parentheses you specify the order of the columns in which you want the values to be inserted, right? So if you've got n columns, or if you want to put in your data in n columns, then you type in column 1, column 2, column 3 up to n columns, and then you type in another keyword values, and then within another set of parentheses you specify the values that you want to be inserted in the columns 1 to n, right? And the syntax for the second option with the insert query, obviously, as I said, you do not have to specify the columns in which you want the values to be stored. So this is a little crisp. You type in insert, then into, and then the name of the table, and till this point the syntax of this is pretty much the same as the syntax of this, and you just don't specify the columns within the parentheses, and then the rest of the part is also the same. So now we're going to insert data in the employee table that we created a couple of tutorials ago using the MySQL workbench. So before we insert data in the employee table, let's check out the structure of the employee table so that we know what kind of information we have to put in it, right? And to do that, I'll use the DASC command, and I'll type in employee because that's the name of my table. Press the control enter combination, and I get the names of the 4 columns in the employee table. So the first one is ID, the second one is name, third one is DOB, and the fourth one is email. And ID and ID is an integer field, and name and email, both these fields are varchar fields, and DOB is datetime field, right? So now we know what kind of data we have to put in this table. So let me reduce the size of this result set a little bit, if it's possible for me to do that. Well, yes, I can do that. And I'll type in the keyword insert, and we're going to check out the first option syntax first. So insert into, and then the name of the table, which is employee, and then within parentheses I'm going to specify the columns in which I want the data to be stored. So the first one is ID, the second one is name, the third one is DOB, and the fourth one is email, right? And on the next line I'll type in the keyword values, and if you are putting in numeric data in a field, then you don't have to put your data within single quotes. If you're putting character data or date time data, then you have to put that data within single quotes, right? So since ID is a numeric field, I can just type in some numbers. So I'll type in 1901, and then I'll type in my name within single quotes, and what the hell just happened? So Madhur, and I'm going to put another comma, and then I'll put in my DOB, and we discussed the format of the date time field, that is the format in which the date time values are stored in SQL when we discussed the date time data type in the tutorial on data types. So the format is you have to first specify the year, and that's 1989, and then you put in a hyphen and specify the month, which is 11 for me, and I was born on 20th November 1989, by the way. And I'll also specify the time, and to do that you have to put in a space character and then the hours in the 24-hour format. So I was born on 11:55 a.m. and I don't know the second, so I'm just going to put in 00 there, and then I'll also put in my email address, which is going to be within single quotes again because it's a character field, the email field, and Madhur Bhatia at the rate of hotmail.com, and that's it. So I'll put in the closing parentheses at the end, and the semicolon to terminate the statement. And when I press the control enter key combination, I get in the output section the green check mark, and I see that my statement was processed successfully. So if you want to verify whether your statement was whether your insert statement was executed successfully or not, I'm just giving you this information, and we're going to talk about the select statement in detail in a couple of tutorials. But you use the select statement and you put in the asterisk symbol after the select keyword, and then the keyword from, and then the name of the table from which you want to see your rows, right? So I'm just telling you this. We're going to discuss this later on, and there you go. You see in the results set that in the ID field we have 1901 as the entry. In the name field we have Madhur as the entry. You have the date of birth value and the email value as well, right? So this is when you specify the column set after the insert into table name thing, and you also specify the values corresponding to each of the column that is there in the table. What if you do not want to specify this, and why would you firstly not want to include this thing in your insert into statement? If suppose your table consists of lots of columns, and you want to put values in each column that you have in your table, right? So in that case, to insert data, if you want to insert 15 rows, and you would have to copy this part 15 times, and you would also have to type in 15 if it's got 20 columns, if your table has got 20 columns, and you have to type in 20 column names within the parentheses, right? And that can be pretty boring and pretty time consuming. So in order to avoid that, you can just type in insert and then into, and the name of the table, which is employee, and you don't have to put in the column set in the parentheses, and you can directly type in the keyword values, and then just type in some values. So 2000, and the name could be ABC, and the date of birth could be 2013, and 110 and 08, and then I can also type in some time value like 12, 54, and 11, right? And I can type in some value for the email address field too, like abc at the rate of gmail.com. You can put a semicolon at the end to terminate the statement. When I press the control enter key combination now, again I see that the insert into statement was processed successfully, and I would use the select star thing again to see if my table's got the data that I just put in it, employee, and there you go. Now you see that the table has two rows. The first row is as a result of the first insert into statement that we executed, and the second row is a result of the second one that we executed. So a couple of things that you have to keep in mind if you're fond of the second option of insert into. The things that you have to keep in mind are that if you're using this, then the order in which you specify the data in the values set, that is within the parentheses after the values keyword, it has to be the same as the order in which the fields exist in the table, right? And that order you can figure out by executing the describe command, right? So if in case the order is different, then you can get a type mismatch error, or it could happen that the email address is stored in the name field and the name is stored in the email address field, or the date time is stored in some other field. So that kind of thing can happen, and in order to avoid that, I would suggest you to keep your tables short. So if you want to put 15 columns in your table, then try to somehow figure out ways in which you can split the 15 columns into 3 tables, like have 3 tables instead of 1, and you keep 5 columns in one table, 5 in another, and 5 in another. So that's going to help you organize your data in a better way, and also while inserting data into tables, it will be easy for you, right? So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one, in which we'll discuss something interesting and important for sure. And please subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already, and I'm gonna see you